Sometimes when I'm out walking, or especially when I'm walking with my dog, I'll see a shape on the ground that reminds me of something. In this case, I saw a hummingbird flying to the right. Now I'm back at home, it reminds me of a hummingbird doing the splits. It looks like a ballerina hummingbird. So I'm just going to do some sketches now and see if I can reproduce what I saw in my head. I find this quite a good source of inspiration because if I'm having a moment where I'm not sure what to paint or what to draw or what to do, I just go out for a walk and I look for shapes and they conjure up ideas in my mind. Here I'm just going to be working on a regular sheet of A4 printing paper. This is my favorite thing to draw on when I'm starting out because I don't feel precious about it at all. It's not like I'm faced with a sketchbook and I'm worried about ruining the first page, or feel like the pressure where you have to do some amazing thing. So I'm just going to doodle around some hummingbird shapes on this piece of paper. These are my favorite pencils for sketching. They are Caran d'Ache metallic pencils. I'm not sure if they belong to a set or something, but they're really smooth. The metallic isn't so shiny that you would really be bothered by it, but it's just a really soft pencil and it's quite chunky as well. So I really enjoy drawing with these. I'm just going to put the music up while I sketch for a while because I find it really difficult to talk and draw and concentrate and do all these things at the same time. I know there are many YouTubers who are really good at this and I'm so impressed, but I'm still struggling with it. So I'm just going to put the music up while I sketch out. So there's the hummingbird. You can see I've done several lines. My first sketch is always just that, a sketch, and you're just kind of playing around to find the lines that work for you. Lots of going over, emphasizing the ones that I like, leaving out the ones that I don't. Initially I gave him a bit of a pot belly, so then I had to come in and tame down his belly, and his wings were too high, starting up almost from his head. So yeah, it's just like playing around until you get something that you like. And then maybe there's going to be a plant over here to the right. And this is the beauty of this paper again. I can just draw straight over this plant that I'm going to do is going to come straight over him, and it doesn't matter because afterwards I can trace it or take it into the computer if I wish, or these are just like basic sketches, nothing precious about them. Just get them down and work them up later. Okay, so that's my basic sketch. So I'm just going to trace over it now onto a piece of paper that I can do some watercolor on, and then we'll take it from there. I like to use a light box to do the tracing. The paper that I'm using is a watercolor paper. I've got it from Amazon. It's just got these deckled edges and it's a 300 gram cotton, 100% cotton paper. So I'm just going to turn on the light box and lightly trace around the drawing. I've done it so big, it fills the whole thing. I should have done it smaller, but hey. I'm going to use these gorgeous Aakash watercolors, which I swatched out the other week. I'll link to that video below. I'm just going to put a light wash of water over the bird's body, and then drop in some colors just randomly. Going around its eye, and also these parts of the wing. I'm not worrying too much about the colours, the actual realistic colours of a hummingbird. I'm just kind of going for blue, green, purple, and a bit of pink. So it's not going to be highly realistic. This is the deep sea green from Aakash, which is absolutely gorgeous colour. So while that dries, I'm going to put a very light wash of the Tyrian purple on the wings. Not worrying if it bleeds too much into the green and blue that I did before. It's so awkward filming. You have to kind of try and keep your hand out of the way, but that's not always easy. See if I can get rid of a bit of that went over the edge. Things like that wouldn't matter if you take it into Photoshop and then clean it up. You can clean up all the edges, which is what I would do anyway, so it's not the end of the world. And then coming in on the tail with some quinacridone violet. On alternating segments. And then with quinacridone magenta on the ones that are left over. And of course I haven't left it dry, so it's bleeding into the purple, but that doesn't matter. Obviously, if you didn't want it to bleed in, you would have to wait until the purple dried, but in my case, it's just a loose hummingbird, as it were. And for the beak, we'll do a bit of harbour blue. I'm not going to touch the plant until I've done the hummingbird, because for sure I'll end up putting my hand over it and mucking the whole thing up, so I'll do them one by one. So I'm just going to let that dry for a while and then we'll come back to it. The first layer is dry now, so I'm going to come back in with some more colour. Darkening up the green around the facial area and neck, and then we'll come in with some more blue on the rest of the body. I'm just moving on to the plant now while the hummingbird dries. This green is a mixture of deep sea green and fig green, so it's kind of a nice gardeny green, and I'm just giving it a light wash. Just coming back in with a reddish pinkish wash over the yellow just to make it a bit more orange. Now I'm just putting a light purple wash over the whole of the leaves, whole of the wings. Now I'm just going to put some feather details on the tail feathers here. And I'm going to do some light feathering on the body of the bird as well, just to give it some texture. Just really simple groups of 3 marks, just to make it give the hint of the feathers. I'm going to come back in with another wash of blue over the whole bird. This final layer on the green is a mixture of olive green deep, and deep sea green. So it's just got a bit of that yellowness to it from the olive green, but also bringing in a bit of the blue from the deep sea green, creating quite a beautiful colour. Just putting it over the whole plant. And this is that same colour, but I've just mixed a bit of purple in as well, just to make it a bit darker for the stem of the flower. And that's a wrap. So I hope you can see how you can get inspiration from the simplest things, everyday objects around you, things that you see on the street. Anything can be a source of inspiration. So get out there, look at some shapes, draw some stuff, and get inspired. If you enjoyed my video, I do hope you'll consider subscribing and like and comment below. See you in the next one. Bye.